Welcome to session number 5 on how to create users or give approval. This video will cover how to create new users, how to give approval for requests of login and password for new users, and then we will go through the practice assignment for day 2. You can go to the link wbcmamtest.org/pdhearth/. Once you are into the home page, you can go and click on Users tab. As we saw in the previous video, you can create a new user by clicking this top link called Create New User. So if you get a list of all the different participants that you would like to give access to for a username and password on the PD Hearth Online database, you can then create the user ID. I like to use the first name, last name, and then a password is automatically generated. And then you can put their first name and last name, their English or their language preference, and then their email. And then you would click active, and you can indicate if they are a trainee, or if they're not a trainee and they are a member, then you can select one of these different kinds of administrative rights. So I will click trainee for now. For email, I will put my personal email. And then most times you're going to be giving the PD Hearth National Officer or the PD Hearth ADP Officer rights. If you are a national PD Hearth officer, then most likely you will only be able to give the access rights to the PD Hearth ADP officer. If you are a PD Hearth regional officer, you would probably be able to give access to national officers and then ADP officers. For PD Hearth admins, they can give access to all 4 types. And then you would click which country the PD Hearth national officer has access to. So I'm going to say practice country for now, and then click finish. Now, if you have already received the request for the login and password, as you saw in the home page, it says there are new users waiting for account approval. Please visit the system's users page. So if you click on that, automatically you will see the different users that have requested for access. And then you can just go into and select the user and say active for the status. And then you can give access to them as national officer, ADP officer, regional officer, support officer, and then for which specific country, and click save. You can click save, or you can even click finish. Okay. So now you have given those people access. You can also select new inactive. And this will give you a list of all the users that have requested for access who are waiting. So that's how you give access or create new users on the web page. So now for day 2's practice assignments, please create a shortcut icon on your home page, as we learned in the previous video, and then give your practice user access to the online database. So you should have requested for 2 different users. One is your actual professional work email, and it should have been your first name, last name for the username. For the second username, the second username is for your practice. And so you should have requested for your first name, last name, and then the number 2. So that one would be the one that you give yourself access to the online database, because your professional one, I would have already given you access for the database, and that's that user login that you're using right now. So just give access to your second user login that you sent the request for. And so that will bring us to the end of today's session.